Alright, boys. We're going to call this what I've discovered with this Deus 2. We're going to call it the Sharpshooter Bird Dog program. Alright, for the Deus 2. Now, this can actually be used, I believe, with all versions except... You can use it with all versions, but 100 may not do as good a job. But the Beats program on that machine, 100 probably will. Okay, beach sensitive for sure. I need to probably do some more checks. Okay, let me give you a little overview here of what's happening. Users of that detector, try the following. Get you a clad dime, silver dime, small and medium gold ring, and a nickel. Get you a sizable nail. Lay that gold ring or whatever, dime, nickel, down toward the middle, anywhere in the middle of that nail. You can lay it out closer to, not real close to the end, but sort of in the middle. Traditionally when you run a VLF metal detector and you try to sweep down that barrel, you get no signal. Even using small coals. This will work with a bigger coal, like a 9-inch, 11-inch on this detector. Now, I think the 9-inch in some instances may have some slight advantage. Okay, so try that and watch what happens when you use your traditional saltwater beach-sensitive program. Or you use your traditional relic hunting programs. Try sweeping down that and see what happens. I can already tell you what will happen. You'll hear iron tone. You won't get no signal. Now, you can get a medium-sized nail and a larger nail and try this on. Now, a real small nail, a nickel, you may get some signal with that Deus 2 coming down the barrel. You may even get some signal with a gold ring, especially a larger one with a real shorter piece of iron. Okay, so here's what's going on with that detector. Now, I don't know the actual what's going on inside of it, but the sensitive FT program on version 110 and 200, as you let the disc down on that machine, the ID of iron changes. Well, that's how I started with this little thing here that I'm telling you about. Well, after looking at it more today, the beach sensitive program, the fast program, the general program, the sensitive program on versions 2 and 110, the ID of iron seems to stay consistent as you lower the disc from 6.8 to 20. Okay? Well, what happens with this machine, using, say, beach sensitive or using the fast program in version 2 or version 110, okay? When you put that gold ring in against that nail, now they don't have to be touched or anything, but where it's tough to detect coming down the barrel. What it will do is the nail will read like about 5 or 6, and when you put that gold ring or that nickel in there, it drives the ID down to a number 1 or a number 2. Well, when I seen this, I'm like, well, a lot of iron doesn't read 1 or 2. But when I put a non-ferrous target, like I talked, like I've mentioned here, it does. So I can come down the barrel on a beach or at a relic site, and I might actually hear a signal giving a 1 or a 2. So what you do is you go in there using the beach sensitive or the fast program or the sensitive program. Now, the notch may vary a little, but I actually like using those programs notch 3 through 7. So try that, experiment with this, and watch what happens. So you can literally be on a beach with some iron, for example. And I know that Gigmaster, he says he's got iron on some of his beaches, especially out in the water. Well, if you come down the barrel of that nail and there's a gold ring laying there, and there can be some height, the nail can be somewhat above the gold ring. Now, this is limited, you can't be 6 inches, the nail can't be 6 inches above the gold ring, But when you come down that, you get signal. If you run a traditional program on the Deus 2 and you do that, you won't get anything except iron tone if you've got it on, running a typical 6.8 disc. Now you need to run the disc down on your machine to between 0, I'm going to recommend 0 to 1.5, okay? And I've not tried this on saltwater beach. I don't know why the Deus 2 wouldn't be stable running your salt sensitivity like you typically do to get stable in your speed setting, okay? And believe it or not, the speed setting on this machine has little to do with it being able to pick up, to behave like it does, okay? So you could be reading a speed of 1.5 on a beach, or 1, and when you come down the barrel of that nail, and if that gold ring is there close, where you typically wouldn't hear it, you're going to get a signal, since you've got the numbers 1 and 2 opened up on that machine. Now you get to assign tone using 3, 4, and 5 tones on that Deus 2, meaning the tone pitch of the signal you hear going down the barrel of that nail, I think, coincides with the first non-ferrous tone bend. So you get to set the volume and the pitch of the signal. Now, full tones, if you use that, what you're going to hear is you're going to hear an iron tone. Now, remember, though, you've got most of the iron range notched. So you'll hear an iron tone. You look down, you'll see a 1 or 2 in the meter, and that would be your cue. You know, should you decide to use full tones, you can use pitch tones with this as well, using the notch of 3 through 7. Now, this should up the odds of you locating some good targets, okay? That people running Deus 2 and a lot of other detectors, I'm not sure another detector can do what this detector's doing. I've not tried it. I don't really see how a person could use, for example, a Manicore. I've thought about this. You know, I have a Manicore and I tested it for Mind Lab, and I'm not sure you can make the Manicore do this or not. And a lot of other machines. So I'll be showing a few videos. I just wanted to put this out here, but yeah, just do what I said in the video here and try it. Run your disc down to like 0, 1, and come across a nail down the barrel. Put a gold ring, put a nickel in there where it normally, you know, you can use the program you've been using and you'll see your results and then see the results that I get. You know, what you get with my recommendation. I think some people may actually like this. Now remember, this doesn't take away from how the machine, you know, what beat sensitive can strike out in the wild. You know, this is adding to what its capabilities are, okay? The only thing is you're giving up your iron tone. Meaning your iron range being notched, you're not going to, you know, if you have iron tone selected, you know, turned up, you're not going to hear that. That's the only thing you give up with this. Now, it's not necessarily a perfect system, but I know I would probably be looking at this hard. It might help you out, okay? So stay tuned. I'll do a few more videos. I've done a few, but I've not done any showing beat sensitive and fast program. And I don't think the sensitive FT program is the best program for land hunters to use this process. You can use it, though. The only problem is you have to use multiple notches to get the same results you get with sensitive, general, and the fast program. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed.